Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt utterly swamped? Not by one massive project, but by dozens of tiny, insignificant tasks? That feeling of dread when you look at your to-do list, and it's a chaotic mosaic of send that email, empty the dishwasher, or respond to that text. We're talking about the low-hanging fruit of life, the things that individually take seconds, maybe a minute or two, but collectively form a mountain of mental fatigue. This is the silent killer of productivity. It's not the big presentation that derails us, it's the 100 tiny pebbles we trip over on the way there. We postpone them. We tell ourselves, I'll batch them later, or I need to be in the mood to deal with that. But later never comes, or it comes bundled with guilt. And that's where the real cost lies, in the psychological burden. Think about cognitive load theory. Our brain has a limited working capacity, like RAM on a computer. Every single unfinished task, no matter how small, even just putting away that coffee mug, takes up a tiny slot of that mental RAM. It acts as an open loop, constantly pinging your subconscious, reminding you that something is incomplete. This isn't laziness, it's resistance. Resistance against tasks that lack inherent interest or excitement. We save them up intending to dedicate a full admin hour to them, but often the setup time for that hour is longer than the tasks themselves. For example, responding to a text message. It takes 30 seconds to type, yet we might put it off for 3 hours. Why? Because opening the app, reading the message, and formulating the response feels like breaking your focus, even though it's a minor disruption. Let's look at the classic examples of these insidious time sinks we refuse to conquer immediately. The dirty dishes in the sink. Washing them takes 4 minutes, max, but seeing them sits in your peripheral vision, draining your mood. The email requiring a 2-sentence confirmation. We mark it unread and let it linger in the inbox abyss. Or perhaps refilling the stapler, a 20-second job that somehow ends up being postponed until the precise moment you urgently need the stapler. This collective delay causes something psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect, the tendency to remember incomplete tasks better than completed ones. So your brain is actively using energy to remember the tiny tasks you haven't done, not the major projects you are actually working on. It's inefficient, exhausting, and fundamentally corrosive to our sense of accomplishment. If this sounds like your life, where the smallest things feel like the heaviest weights, you are in the right place. We need a psychological framework, a simple rule to bypass that internal resistance and cut through the clutter immediately. A way to trick our brains into realizing that the effort required to decide to do the task is greater than the effort required to execute the task. Prepare to radically simplify your productivity approach. It all comes down to one simple metric: the clock. Introducing the 5-minute rule. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it immediately. Stop planning. Start executing. Now that we have identified the problem, the insidious weight of tiny tasks, let's delve deeper into why delaying them is so detrimental. It's not just about the task itself. It's about the erosion of mental discipline and the compounding interest of disorder. Agitation point 1. Decision fatigue. Every day, we have a finite number of good decisions we can make. When you encounter a 5-minute task and you stop to debate whether you should do it now or later, you burn a decision. A simple rule like the 5-minute rule eliminates that debate entirely. The decision is already made for you. Without the rule, you spend valuable cognitive energy on trivialities, reserving less power for your strategic, high-impact decisions later in the day. Imagine trying to write a critical report after spending an hour mentally debating whether to file those 7 receipts. The report suffers. Agitation point 2. The multiplier effect. Small tasks rarely stay small when ignored. They attract other tasks. That single dirty dish left in the sink. By morning, it has attracted 2 mugs, a bowl, and a fork, making the cleaning job much closer to 15 minutes. That 2-minute task of checking the oil in your car? Delay it long enough, and it becomes a massive, expensive repair job, requiring hours and dollars. We often mistake immediate inconvenience for future time saving. It's a form of self-deception we must overcome. Every task left undone is a tiny anchor dragging down your emotional ship. Psychologically, this contributes to a feeling of being behind. You constantly feel like you are playing catch-up, which breeds anxiety. This is the stress of environmental clutter translated into mental clutter. The two are inextricably linked. Think about your workspace. If you spend 5 minutes tidying up every morning, you prevent an hour-long catastrophe on Friday. Agitation point 3. Momentum killer. The greatest enemy of success is inertia. We need momentum to tackle big goals. Momentum is built by completing tasks, even the smallest ones. When you start your day by intentionally avoiding 5-minute tasks, you are actively choosing inertia. You are training your brain to tolerate incompleteness, which makes it harder to commit to the grueling, long-term tasks required for your major goals. It creates a pattern of avoidance, subtly reinforcing the belief that you are incapable of following through, even on the simplest promises you make to yourself. Consider the missed opportunities. That 5-minute networking message you postponed, someone else got the connection. That 5-minute quick practice session on an instrument, if missed daily, you lose half an hour of focused progress per week. The cumulative cost of delaying 5-minute tasks is staggering. We're talking about weeks, even months of wasted time and cognitive bandwidth over a year. We are allowing the minor details to define our major experience. We are letting the tail wag the dog. So, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we switch from a mindset of avoidance to a mindset of immediate action? We need a tool that is so simple, so intuitive, that it requires virtually no willpower to implement. We are moving past the pain and into the permanent solution. This solution transforms 5-minute tasks from stressors into sources of instant accomplishment and momentum builders. Get ready to dismantle your to-do list, 5 minutes at a time. It's time for the solution, the tactical deep dive into applying the 5-minute rule effectively. The core principle is deceptively simple. If a task can be done in 5 minutes or less, stop what you are doing, unless it's a high-priority deep work session, and complete it right now. Step 1. Identify the boundary. You must know what 5 minutes feels like. Get a timer. Start by timing your common recurring microtasks. You might be surprised. Many things you dread actually take less than 180 seconds. Use the time constraint as a mental trigger. When you see a task, the immediate internal question is not, do I want to do this, but how long will this take? Step 2. The moment of encounter. The rule is most powerful when applied at the moment you first encounter the task. If a small piece of trash is on your desk and it takes 5 seconds to throw it away, don't wait until the next garbage run. Do it. If you open a bill that requires 5 minutes to pay online, pay it immediately. Avoid the cognitive overhead of filing it to pay later. The moment you capture the task, you execute it, eliminating the need for further planning, remembering, or deciding. Step 3. Integrating the rule into routines. This rule isn't just for random tasks. It works best when integrated into your transitions. The start of day transition. Before you open your primary project, clear the 5-minute backlog. The end of day transition. Use the last 5 minutes of your workday to organize files, empty your email draft folder, and prepare the desk for tomorrow. The between tasks transition. If you finish a big meeting early, don't jump straight into the next big thing. Fill that gap with a 5-minute task. These small victories become mini celebrations, triggering dopamine hits that fuel your motivation for the next larger task. Advanced strategy. Task decomposition. Sometimes a seemingly large task can be broken into 5-minute chunks. Organizing your entire digital archive might take 3 hours, but indexing 5 files takes 5 minutes. If you apply the rule here, you nibble away at the bigger mountain, creating steady, incremental progress without overwhelming yourself. This prevents the mental blockage where we feel we need a full, uninterrupted block of time to start a big, messy cleanup. The 5-minute rule versus the Pomodoro technique. How do they coexist? The Pomodoro technique is for focused, deep work blocks, 25 minutes. The 5-minute rule is for instant maintenance and context switching. Use the 5-minute rule during your Pomodoro break, the 5-minute break itself, to handle those tiny maintenance tasks without breaking flow during the main work time. This optimizes your downtime, ensuring that even your breaks are productive maintenance sessions, not just mental breaks, though those are important too. Counter-argument handling. But won't small tasks interrupt deep work? This is a critical distinction. When you are in a flow state, truly focused, deep work, you ignore all distractions, including the small tasks. The rule pauses here. The 5-minute rule applies best to low-focus, maintenance tasks that occur during standard low to medium concentration activities or during transition gaps. You must protect your high-value work blocks, but everywhere else, the 5-minute rule is the sheriff, enforcing immediate action. Tactical list of 5-minute tasks. Examples. Let's make this tangible. Deleting 15 spam emails, emptying the trash can, putting away 3 pieces of clothing that are out of place, charging a low device, drinking a full glass of water, organizing the 10 most used desktop icons, sending a specific thank you note via text, checking your calendar for the next day's high-priority items. Remember, the goal is not just to complete the task, but to relieve your mental space of its ongoing administrative duties. The emotional payoff, immediate relief. The biggest benefit is the immediate psychological benefit of completion. Every time you complete a 5-minute task, you solidify a positive feedback loop. Action leads to completion, which leads to mental clarity. You transition from feeling scattered and reactive to feeling controlled and proactive. This clarity is what allows you to see the path toward your major goals without the noise of minor demands blocking the view. Consistency is the key. Don't aim for perfection, aim for compliance. Just comply with the rule whenever a 5-minute task appears. If you accidentally let a 5-minute task slide, forgive yourself immediately and apply the rule to the next small task you encounter. The power of the 5-minute rule is that it is self-correcting. It's too simple to fail completely. We are training the habit of action. Action over analysis. Execution over delay. Think of this rule as your personal productivity turbocharger. Small bursts of activity creating massive overall velocity. Commitment check. Are you ready to ditch the planning and embrace the immediate execution of those tiny, time-sucking responsibilities? To cement this framework, let's summarize the 3 core actions you need to take starting right now. Action 1. Mental inventory. Identify 3 small recurring tasks you always postpone, eager folding laundry, sending quick replies. Action 2. The clock check. Set a timer for 5 minutes and complete one of those tasks immediately after this video finishes. Prove to yourself it takes less time than the avoidance does. Action 3. The Sheriff Badge. Proactively nominate yourself as the 5-minute task sheriff for the next 48 hours. Enforce the rule ruthlessly. This simple shift will change how you approach your daily life, reducing stress and multiplying your daily wins. If you found this deep dive into the 5-minute rule helpful, we'd love to hear about it. What is the very first 5-minute task you are going to tackle today? Let me know in the comments below. We're dedicated to helping you master productivity and reclaim your focus. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this incredible community. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates and strategies to make your life more efficient and fulfilling. See you in the next video. Keep crushing those small tasks.